Yo, you want to make YouTube videos? Let's talk about the equipment that you'll need. What's happening, everybody? Your boy Big Brando, and this is a question I get all the time, and I feel weird answering this because I don't think I'm the best person to review camera gear and stuff like that for YouTube videos because my setup is very basic. But in my last live stream, people were asking what camera I use, what mics I use, and all that good stuff. So here we are. Now to start this off, the camera that I'm filming on right now is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a little handheld gimbal that I'm pretty sure you've seen a ton of other content creators use. Mainly people use it to vlog with, mainly people use it on the go because it's like the size of a Snickers bar. So that's the camera I'm using right now. That's the camera I use when I make my shop life videos. Anything that happens in the shop, I'm taking this on a little tripod and I'm just setting it up around my shop. And the tripod that's like this is like one of these. It's like, has the base and then it's like that. And then I just screw the camera to the top. Now, speaking of that, this is holding the Canon M50 with the Rode mic to go or something like that. I can't remember the name of this thing. Yeah, I think it's called the Go mic to go or video to go or something, but it's made by Rode. It's a little shotgun mic, very inexpensive. This camera is the old Canon M50 with the kit lens, no fancy lens, no nothing. That's what I film a lot of my talking head videos, like this one right here. When I'm sitting at my desk, it's up there. That's the camera that I've been using for the last 7 years maybe of making YouTube videos. That same setup and everything. Now the reason I'm using my DJI is because of these little microphones. These are called the DJI Mic Minis. They come in a little box like this. It's two of them. So there's one here, there's one that's clipped on right here, and then there's a transmitter. If you wanted to plug this into your camera or to your phone, you can do so. These little microphones, pretty inexpensive. They pair with the DJI Osmo really quickly. So if I wanted to do like on the go interviews and stuff, I could clip one onto somebody, have one on, and then we could record everything on the Osmo. Same thing with my phone. I could plug this in to my phone and just get it going. But these are the DJI Mic Mini microphones. That's what I'm currently talking on right now. It's stuck on with a magnet, and that's the audio that you're hearing right now. That's the basic setup. Outside of like lights, like these lights that are against this wall right here are just accent lights. All it's doing is just shooting a light up against that little back texture wall right there. Same thing on this side behind this chair, there's a light facing the wall. And all it's doing is just creating a little bit of separation of me on the camera with the background. And then it's just regular LED lights around that little box right there. You could change the colors and stuff like that. That's it. And then I have a soft box up here, which is just a light source LED panel that you put a box around. It's called a soft box, and it just diffuses the light. So there's no overhead lights on up here. Usually when I have the overhead lights on, like the office lights, it casts like this crazy glare on the top of my head from the overhead lights because I'm bald. So I shut those off. I turn on the accent lights back here, and then I have this one soft box off to the side. It's not directly on my face, and that's it. That's my YouTube setup. I guess I could try to show you that. So that's the soft box. That's the light. That's basically how it works. All of this stuff can be bought on Amazon, very cheap, except for the cameras. Cameras aren't cheap, right? I don't know what the going rate on these DJI Osmos are. I don't know what the going rate on these are. I think when I bought it, it was probably like around 400 bucks. It might be the same, might be cheaper because I know they have like a version 2 or Mark II version of this. This is the Canon M50. The reason I got this one is because of this pull-out screen right here. So other cameras, it flips up top, right? Like you've seen people like vlogging with these style of cameras, and then the back screen kind of flips up top. If I have this microphone up here and it flips up top, I wouldn't be able to see myself. So I got this one because it slides out to the side. I could see myself framed up in camera and I'm good to go. Because I film everything on my own. I don't have a camera crew, so I film everything on my own. So I need to be able to see if I'm in frame. That's why the DJI Osmo is cool, because it has a little screen on the bottom and it mirrors what I'm looking at in the camera. Same thing with this. When I'm filming myself, I could see myself, make sure like I'm in the middle of the frame and I'm good. Now, is all of this stuff needed to make YouTube videos? Hell no. You could do everything from your phone. And the reason I say that is because I record all of my short form content, like stuff you see on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, all of that stuff is done on my phone. We all pull our phone out to create content already, to post stuff, take pictures and whatever, so we can post it on Instagram. We already do that. So you don't need separate cameras to do all that. What I would recommend is some microphones. The ones that I use are the Rode Micro, I think that's what it's called. I can't remember the name, but you can find these on Amazon also. So this little transmitter in the middle, this is a charging case, by the way, but this little transmitter plugs into the bottom of your phone. Let me get my phone out. Here's my phone. You plug this in to the bottom, and then you have your microphone. You have two, comes with two, and you just start talking. This also has a magnet on the back and a little clip. See that? So if you wanted to just clip it to your shirt, clip it to your hat, clip it to whatever, your hoodie or your jacket, whatever you're wearing, clip it on there. Or you could slap it on with a magnet. It comes with a magnet just like this. So you can wear it like this under the shirt and just put the magnet on, you're good to go. Having these microphones make your audio just that much cleaner and crisper, and it all fits in a little case like this, probably the size of like an AirPod case, and it plugs into your phone. You could like be on the go and just like knock it down. To me, that's a simple setup, and you can always get like different mounts for tripods. Like you could still get this style of a tripod, and instead of the little mount that like squeezes your phone, you could have the mount that's just a magnet, because these have that little magnet in the back, and you just slap that sucker on the back and you can record really quick. Front facing camera, back facing camera, whatever you want to do. Now you have good audio and you have good clean visuals, because these phones record amazing quality, 4K quality. So there's really no excuse not to create content, because we all have these phones in our pocket. It's just adding minor things. Like you don't have to get lenses and filters and all that stuff for your phone. I would recommend just the microphones, and you don't even have to use these Rode ones. There's so many different mics. Like if you just looked up wireless lavalier mic for your phone, there's like a bunch that'll pop up from different brands. Just read the reviews on Amazon. They go down to like $20 up to like $300. So it's just really which ones you want to use. I think these Rode ones were like $100. I have this other one. It's like comes in a little yellow box. They're little circles. I use it when I live stream. Those ones are like $22 and they work. The audio's good. That's how I do all my voiceovers. That's how I do when I'm talking through like pressing shirts in the short form content. It's all done on my phone, which brings me to how do you edit all of these things after you capture all the content. When you're doing it on your phone, you could use apps like CapCut, which is a popular one. They have a free version and a paid for version. Now the paid for one just has like a few other bells and whistles that help you with editing down footage. There's like image stabilizer in there. There's different pre-made templates that you can use. Some of the text graphics and animations and stuff come with the paid for version, but the regular free version has ads, and then it's also just basically plain and simple cutting and editing. There's tons of videos on YouTube teaching you how to use it, but it's pretty straightforward. You dump your clips in there and then you just slide and cut whatever you don't want, add the next clip, slide and cut whatever you don't want, and you keep doing it. Export it, go straight to your camera roll, upload it onto Instagram or TikTok, add the music, and you're good to go. Now when it comes to the long form stuff, record it on cameras like this DJI and record it on cameras like this right here. I put that into my computer and I use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit. I don't do anything fancy in Premiere Pro. I just chop everything down. So I upload the clip that I want, and then I cut out all the yeahs, me sitting there thinking, any dead space in the video. That's why my thing is so jump cutty, where it's just like talking all the way through, because that's the way I like to consume my content. I hate when I'm watching somebody and they're sitting there trying to collect their thoughts and it's just dead space, nobody's saying nothing, or they're using just like filler words. I hate that. So I cut all that out, and then that's what I upload to YouTube. So I don't do anything crazy. I'm not doing big color corrections. I shoot it right out of the camera. I try to get it best in camera as possible, and then throw it in there. Don't color correct nothing. Real quick and dirty edits just to get it out. But that's basically my setup. Oh, and I use a Mac. I'm a Mac person, not PC. There's nothing wrong with PC. I just grew up learning all these softwares on Mac, so I use Mac now because that's what I'm used to. If you wanted to use PC, go for it. Adobe's made for PC and Mac, so I edit with Adobe Premiere Pro. There's also tons of videos on YouTube showing how to use that software for the basic edits. If you're asking me, the best tool you can use, it's called Ripple Delete, and it's basically just a shortcut on your keys, to delete something and slide the timeline over. So if everything's in like these little chunks and blocks, and say you want to delete this, you cut it here and cut it here, and you want to delete this space in the middle, basically you click ripple delete, and then it'll delete that clip and then slide the whole timeline over, butt it up against the next one. That just adds to the efficiency when you are actually editing. So like I said, I cut out a lot of the ums, yes, I say that a lot. So as I'm cutting them through, I'm just chop, chop, ripple delete, chop, chop, ripple delete. It just makes my life that much easier. That's the only tool that I would recommend, is if you were gonna be editing like I do, look that up. Ripple delete makes your life easier. And then as for CapCut, I don't do anything. I don't have any special tricks or anything on there. I basically lay all the clips out. It's in little chunks. I watch it through, cut out the dead space. Especially like the golf videos that I make, same exact thing. Is I'll load the whole clip. It's like an 8-minute clip, and I chop that sucker down to like 45 seconds. And it's basically chopping out me standing there looking at the ball, getting my grip right, and then like before I'm about to swing, I'll cut it at when I'm at the top to when I actually hit it, chop it there, and then delete all the dead space. So all you're seeing me is just swing, 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 talking a little, swing, swing, swing. 45 seconds later, it's done. And then with apps like CapCut, they have the feature where it'll generate all of the captions for you, and you could pick different colors for the text and choose different fonts and do all that stuff, but it does it for you within seconds. All you do is just put generate captions, it'll pick everything up. I'll rewatch it through. If I didn't say something correctly and it thinks I said something else, I'll go back and edit that text. Like something it always does is whenever I say AS color in a video, they always spell color wrong, because AS color spells it COLOUR, and I have to go in and correct that. Or when I say Supacolor, it says super, SUPER, so I have to change that to SUPA. But outside of that, it picks up mostly everything, curse words, everything is caught on there, and it'll auto generate all the captions for you. So it makes your life easier too. So you could add captions to your videos through CapCut, edit everything down, and it'll export it right into your camera roll so you can upload it to whatever social media platform you want to. So that's basically how I create all of my content. Everything that I do, from bicycle ride videos to golfing videos, to donut reviews, to Disneyland content, to shop content of me pressing shirts and embroidering hats and all that stuff you guys see me do. It's all done on my phone. I'm talking through that little Rode mic, putting it into CapCut. I edit it all down, and then I'll show you this. Then I'll just create a folder inside of my albums app. So just click that, and I have this folder called ready to upload, and it's just all these videos have been edited already and they're ready to upload. So then that way, when I'm posting on social media, I could just like grab from this folder and be like, upload this one today. And it's everything from golf videos to t-shirt videos to donut review videos, all that stuff that I record, it's in there. And then my process for YouTube videos is I record, like I'm sitting down recording. I've already recorded 7 videos prior to this one. So this is my 8th video of the day recording. I'll take all of this footage, put it onto my hard drive and save it. And then throughout the week, I'll just come back and edit what I want to release the previous week or the following week. I only record long form YouTube videos, maybe one Sunday out of the month. I just record a bunch of them. That's why I'm always wearing the same shirt in the videos. And then throughout the week, I'll just edit, upload, edit, upload. And usually if I'm sitting down editing a bunch of stuff, Patreon sees that early. So Patreon will see these videos months in advance before I actually publish them on YouTube, because I kind of just stockpile all the content. And the way my content is made is based on the questions you guys ask in the comments. So every time somebody asks something in the comments, whether it's about what's the best blank t-shirt to use, what's the best transfer to use, how do I line up my transfers, that's how I make my content. I'll answer that question in video form as a talking head, throw it into my hard drive or throw it into Adobe Premiere, edit it down, upload it. So my YouTube strategy or content creator strategy is very minimal. My life doesn't revolve around it because I stockpile everything. As you just seen, there's like 18 videos in my phone ready to be uploaded. Like I just said, I'm recording my 8th long form YouTube video today. Today's Sunday. I only upload once or twice a week. So having 8 videos right here gives me about 2 months worth of content to post. So then I'll jump in on another Sunday and then record another 8. Sometimes it's only 2, sometimes it's like 12. It all depends on how much time I have and how many questions I have to answer and stuff like that. So now that you guys know the inner workings of my content creator journey here, I use the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera. I use the DJI mic minis. I use this Canon M50 with the Rode shotgun mic on top. I think it's called the mic to go, Rode to go or something like that, with these cheap tripods that you can buy on Amazon. I have a softbox for my phone. I use my iPhone, and I use these little Rode microphones. I think that's what it's called. And I use CapCut to edit on my phone and Adobe Premiere to edit on the computer. That's about it. So if you're looking at getting into content creation, these are some of the tools that I use, but to be completely honest, your phone will do you just fine. So please start creating content, share your journey, share your story, if not for anybody else, for you, so you can go back and reflect on it, because I'll watch videos of myself from like 9-10 years ago to see what I was doing, where I was at, what I was thinking, what I was using, all that good stuff. It's pretty cool to just go back and reflect. It's kind of just keeping a timestamp on everything that you've been doing. So I think it's pretty dope. And if you're not doing it to be a content creator or an influencer, just do it for your family. Posting family videos, pictures, stuff like that, always dope to see. But don't overthink it. Don't spend a ton of money on equipment because it's really not needed. All you got to worry about is making sure it's in focus, audio sounds good, and the lens is clean. That's about it. If your lens has fingerprints and smudges and stuff like that, do it over. Clean the lens, record it over. That's it. Be very mindful of that. Now, if you have any questions about anything I talked about here, please leave it in the comments for me. I'm not a professional content creator. I make content, but I'm not the best at it. I don't have the best equipment, best editing, anything. But if there are questions you have, I'll try to help you out as best as possible. You can follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. That's where you can see a lot of the short form content that I create with my phone. And yeah, catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.